Hi, I'm Chef Kat with the Chaga Company. Today I'm going to demonstrate how to make delicious chocolate almond cookies with chaga. Chaga is an ancient mushroom elixir that grows in tundras around the world. This particular chaga is from Alaska and it's harvested sustainably. Chaga has high antioxidant and anti-inflammatory and immune boosting properties, and it just requires a little bit of effort. You only need about a teaspoon a day to get the benefits. You can cook with it, you can sprinkle it on your foods, you can add it to tea and coffee. It is very subtle flavor. It's almost like cocoa, but even more subtle. So it just goes with everything. Today I'm going to be making some chewy chocolate chip almond cookies. And with all baking recipes, you always start with the wet ingredients. And basically today we've got melted butter. And I just melted 1 cup of butter. And so I'm gonna put it in and I'm gonna use my spatula to make sure I get everything out. Don't wanna waste any butter. And in baking, you always wanna make sure that you get all the ingredients in properly because otherwise the recipe will not turn out right. So I've got my melted butter. I've got my 2 teaspoons of salt. I've got my brown sugar, which is a 1.5 cup. And then also with brown sugar, make sure you pack the brown sugar because otherwise the formula of the baking recipe will not come out right. And then there's 1 cup of white sugar. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna start with my KitchenAid. And if you don't have a KitchenAid, you can always use a wooden spoon like my grandma did, or a hand mixer, which works great as well. And with cookies in particular, it's really easy just to use a wooden spoon. That's what I normally do, but today I have a KitchenAid, so I am gonna turn it up on high. So when you cream the butters or any type of fat, any cookie recipe generally is cream the butter and sugar, add a protein like egg or flaxseed, depending if it's vegetarian or vegan, as well as you add the flour in, usually in parts, and then you fold in the added ingredients like chocolate chips or almonds. So right now I'm just creaming the butter and sugar, and one thing that's really important in baking as well is you want to scrape the bowl. Baking is a formula, so you want to make everything as exact as possible, otherwise the recipe will not turn out right. So right now, I'm just beating the butter and sugar. It's still going, and I'm about to stop it. And I'm going to scrape the bowl. And that way I can assure that all of this gets utilized. And don't forget to scrape the bottom. So I hope everyone's hanging out in their homes, trying to be as peaceful as possible during this hard time in quarantine, and I hope this delicious cookie recipe can give you some cheer. And I really do recommend checking Chaga Company out online. It's really affordable way to boost your immune system, which we all really need right now, as well as the company is in San Francisco, California, and they're using the highest practices of sanitation for their delivery service, for any of their packaging they mail for their mail orders. So I'm going to turn it down to low. I'm going to add the egg one at a time. I'm going to add the chaga. Whoop. And then the vanilla. So now I'm going to scrape the bowl and all the wet ingredients will be incorporated. Stay tuned. So now our wet ingredients are all incorporated and there's a nice ribbon effect with the butter and the eggs and the sugar. It's a light, beautiful color. And I'm going to take the dry ingredients, which is just flour and baking soda today, and I'm going to whisk in, and sifting is also good too, but with cookies you don't really need to sift, depending on the cookie. If it's made with confectioner sugar, you might want to sift it, but otherwise I'm just going to whisk it together to incorporate the dried ingredients. I'm going to turn this down, lift it up, and again, scrape, scrape, scrape. Make sure you get everything even and always scrape the bottom. Very important. It's the little things that matter, really. Now, I'm going to put it on the lowest setting, and I'm going to slowly incorporate the flour. In 3 parts. And you don't want to overmix. That is one of the worst things that you can do to any kind of baked good, especially a cookie, because then it'll be kind of dry and hard to chew and just not appealing. And we're going for the chewy, soft baked cookie today. So we don't want a tough cookie, although I'll tell you what, I am one tough cookie. I don't know about you guys. So now I'm gonna add a cup of chocolate chips, but I always do a heaping cup because I like a little extra chocolate in my cookies, as well as I chopped these almonds whole, and I prefer those for cookies. Sometimes, depending on the cookie, you can use sliced almonds, but I prefer to chop them myself and keep them with the shape. And with this particular recipe, I'm actually going to chill it overnight. So it is a 350 oven, and tomorrow I will bake them in the morning and finish showing you this wonderful magical cookie that I'm making with Chaga. Stay tuned. Thank you so much. Chef Kat in the house made some delicious chocolate almond cookie dough with Chaga. Hi there, Chef Kat is back, and I've got my cookie dough that's rested overnight right here, and I'm about to roll it into balls, bake it at 350 around 10 minutes, and I will show you guys the finishing product, so stay tuned. Depending on your oven, and some people prefer not to do it, I like to flip my cookies in between. I think it makes them cook more evenly. So I set the timer for 11 minutes. It's now at 6 minutes. We'll see what happens. All right, so here we go, the finished product. Yum. I'm gonna let them sit for about 4 minutes in the pan, and then I'm gonna use a spatula to put them on a cookie sheet. It's really important to put your cookies on a cookie sheet if you have one, or take them off the hot pan, because otherwise they're gonna keep cooking. And I prefer a soft baked cookie, and so that is what these are today. Enjoy my recipe and stay tuned for more recipes from the Chaga Company and Chef Kat. Cooked with a kiss.